Let's solve for this equation over here, which is y times y plus 4 equals to negative 12. So what's happening? So we're going to use quadratic formula to solve for it, right? So before that, we have to do what? Remove the parentheses by multiplying y by y and y by 4. So y times y is what? Is y squared plus y times 4 is 4y. And this is equal to negative 12. All right? And then what's going to happen is what? So we have to actually get the negative 12 to the other side, the left side, so we can have the quadratic equation. So the standard form of quadratic equation is what again? This is ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0, right? So that's the reason why we got to get the negative 12 to the left side. So by doing plus 12 both sides, right? And then once we do that, we end up with y squared plus 4y plus 4y plus 12 equals to what? 0. There's nothing left on the right side now. So we do have the quadratic equation standard format. So now what is the quadratic formula? X is equal to what? Negative b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c divided by 2a. All right? So once we get that, what's really happening here now? So once we get that, so that means x is equal to what? So we have the a, the b, the c, that we have. So in this case, what is a? A equals to what? A equals to 1. B equals to what? 4. And then c equals to 12. So when we plug it inside here, so negative b, that means negative 4, right? So negative 4 plus minus square root of what? So we have 4 to the second power minus 4 times 8. That means 4 times 1 times c. And c is what? C is 12. So that means times 12. And this is over 2 times 1. All right? So once we get that, we have negative 4 plus minus. So what's happening here? We end up with 4 to the second power is what? 16 minus, so what's happening here? So we have 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times 12. It's going to give us what? 48. Divided by 2 times 1, which is 2. Okay? So now we take it to this, to this side now. So we have x, which is equal to what? X is equal to negative 4 still, plus minus, square root of what? What is 16 minus 48? Or we can do 48 minus 16 and keep the sign of the highest number, which is negative. So for sure, our final answer is going to be a negative number, right? And then 16, so that is what is 232. So square root of negative 32. Okay? So, and that is divided by 2. Now, what's going to happen? How are we going to break down negative 32 underneath here? Okay? We're going to introduce, because this is a negative number, we're going to introduce what we call the complex number. Okay? So complex number which is going to be, then we have I, so I'm putting here, I squared is equal to negative 1. So whenever we see a negative sign, so we have to replace that with the I square. Okay? So then we have negative 4 then plus minus. So what's going to happen here? So we're going to have I squared. Okay? Then 32. Or 32I squared. Same thing. So square root of that over 2. Okay? And then we got to break it down, whatever we have under the radical. So anything that is perfect square is going to go outside. Anything that is not a perfect square will stay under. So even the 32, we got to break it down into 2 numbers. How can we break down 32? Into 2 numbers, one is going to be a perfect square. The other one is not going to be a perfect square. That'd be 2 times 16. And then I squared is a perfect square of I, right? So this is then equal to negative 4 plus minus. So the I comes out. That one we can do automatically. And then we have 2 times 16 under the radical. So this one is over 2. Okay? And then once we get here, this then is going to be negative 4 plus minus. Square root of 16 is 4. So it's going to be 4i square root of 2 divided by 2. Are you with me? Okay. And then, is there anything that we can simplify here? Yes. The 2 can simplify these two numbers here. So we're going to end up with what? We're going to end up with 2 goes into 4 twice. So it's going to be negative 2 plus minus 2 goes into 4 twice. So it's going to be 2i square root of 2. All right. So that is x. So basically at this point we are finished. Okay. We are done. But at the same time, somebody can just say that we have x sub 1 equals to negative 2 plus 2i square root of 2. And then we have x of 2, which is negative 2 minus 2i square root of 2. We can also go with this. Okay? So it's either or. Okay? So it's either or of this answer. All right, guys? So we finished. Thank you.